Thank you very much. I'm learning all sorts of things this evening. I'll tell you what, in rabbinical school, I hadn't heard that story about the Jews and the mooning, so I'm thankful to have learned that this evening. Since everyone's act is sharing a lot of personal information and it's an intimate crowd, I'll let you know that my wife is expecting. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay. It's our fourth child. No clapping, just laughing. Yeah, what was he thinking? I know you thought I was Amish, but now it's clear that I'm Jewish. But because it's our fourth child, we decided we really want to be unified in our approach. So it's not that my wife is pregnant, it's we are pregnant. It's not that she's having morning sickness, it's about we're having morning sickness. And because I knew she was going to gain some weight, but I'm also competitive, when I saw that she gained 10 pounds, I decided I would go for 15. I will tell you, after 12 years of marriage and almost 4 kids, that men and women are very different. Husband and wives are very different. So recently I noticed that my wife wasn't getting a good night's sleep. I said to her, what's the problem? She said, I'm very stressed. A lot is weighing on my mind. Regarding our children, who will they marry? What profession will they choose? Where will they go to university? So my oldest is 7. But I've also been losing sleep because I'm worried that every day that goes by, they realize that more than half of what I tell them, I make up on the spot. This is further augmented by the fact that until this year, we were homeschooling. I'm not shy to share with you that I purposely did not teach my kids to tell time. Specifically because of what we did this past Sunday when we set the clocks back. It's amazing. I come home from work. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys stayed up so late. Look how dark it is. Everyone's in bed by 5 o'clock. But on Monday, my daughter comes home and she says, you know, Dad, actually it's not late. We set the clock back. And we did that because of daylight saving time, to save money. When there was a war, that's what they decided. I'm so glad we chose to send her to that private school. It's fantastic. Marriage is funny. I don't think life really prepares you for marriage, to enter into that long-term relationship as a man. I think that we should add a class to high school so young men can be more aptly prepared for what they're in for. I think the class would go something like this. All the boys would come into the class, and when they're finally seated, Mrs. Smith would say, boys, you have all earned 2 days detention. I want you to take this time to think about what you did, and then apologize. One brave child, we'll call him John, raises his hand. Mrs. Smith, it's the first class. Within the first 5 minutes, you want us to spend time thinking about something that we didn't do and then apologize for it? She says, class, look at John. John stands a chance. He has a bright future ahead of him in his relationships. For a few weeks now, my wife was telling me, she said, you know what, Yisrael, it would be nice if somebody or someone made me lunch to take to work. I agreed. I didn't take the hint because I'm a guy. She says to me, Yisrael, will you make me lunch? I said, with pleasure, why didn't you ask? Beautiful peanut butter jelly sandwich, cut into triangles, cut up apples, cut up carrots, a granola bar. I'm a nice guy. So when she came home, I expected she would be ecstatic about the fact that she had this beautiful lunch. She comes home, she says, Yisrael, every time you make me a sandwich, you make it the wrong way. I said, but Etty, today's the first time I made you lunch. She said, aha. See? You see, men say what they mean and mean what they say. And women, with all due respect, are a little more complicated. So I'm sitting in my living room the other day, and my wife says to me, Yisrael, I'm cold. I said, Etty, I'm comfortable. About 15 minutes later, she says to me, Yisrael, I'm cold. I said, Etty, I heard you the first time. She burst out very upset. When will you learn? I said, learn what? It was very quiet the rest of the night. My wife has a special ability to tell me I should do what I want and then make me feel like a bad person if I do it. So on Monday I said to my wife, I'm going to go out to the pitch and putt with Mike. She said, great, have a good time. You should definitely go if you want to. So I said, did I forget? Did we have plans? I checked the calendar. Do you want me to cancel? Should I stay home? She said, no. You should go out with your friend if that's what you want to do. So I stayed home and we bonded. Folded some underwear. We shop differently, men and women, I would say, husband and wives. We spend the same amount of time in the store, but the minutes are managed differently. So my wife goes to Walmart and she'll spend an hour in the store. But within the first 5 minutes, she asks a sales representative to show her where the product is she wants to buy. She then spends 55 minutes deciding whether it's a good price and the right color. When I go to Home Depot, I spend 55 minutes pretending like I know what I'm looking for. Refuse the help from 4 sales representatives. And then the last 5 minutes, out of sheer frustration, I say, can you show me with the thing, because I'm building it, and then I see what I want and I buy it. Okay, thank you so much. I'm Yisrael Shurack.